A release date was 2/26/24.
Was that a special day? You seem to remember it
I remember it like the back of my hand. That was the day I lost my mother.
okay. So there was a significance to it.
It was a very
That's
much
what I was getting to.
for it. I lost my mom February 26th of 17. Every day, every time that day came up, every year, I couldn't get out of bed.
Yo, it's SB the Ghost.
What's happening? It's your boy Screen 9.
It's your girl Rapunzel.
This is Anthony Fleming III. Roll up and check out The Wrong Agenda.
Wrong Agenda Podcast.
The Wrong Agenda Podcast.
The Wrong Agenda Podcast.
This is the Wrong Agenda Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Just Dale, and we are back with the Wrong Agenda Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest going to talk to us about something very special and different. So, y'all get ready. Let's hear it out. Introduce yourself.
Telita Mokeya, new author, I guess I could call myself.
New author. Okay. Let's dive right into it. Let's talk about your book. For everyone who doesn't know, what is the book called and what type of book is it?
So the books are called Words Are Magical and So Are You. It is a children's affirmation book. It's geared, I would say from birth to age 12. It's considered like a easy short read, kind of like how adults have affirmation books, where it's just like a couple of little sayings and you just take that with you for the day. Something for the kids, something easy for them to read, grab a couple of words before they go out the door so they can feel encouraged for the day. So really excited about it.
Okay. What inspired you to do a children's affirmation book?
The book started as like a mommy and me book. Because I know sometimes, like as parents, our kids, we don't never hear our kids say like they're proud of us or things like that. Not saying that they should, but it's something different. It hits different when your child say, I'm proud of you. Look what you're doing. I'm proud of you, So it started off as wanting to be a mommy and me book so that mom can encourage the child and child can encourage the mom. And then I was like, wait, but then you got single dads out here raising a kid. So it can't be a mommy and me book. So then I was like, let's just gear it towards the kids, teach them to speak kind to themselves, to help parents have tools to speak kindly to their children, because sometimes in the midst of it, we don't know something kind to say to them. We want to say something else. And our voices become their inner voice as they become older. So what we say to them helps them to develop how they're going to talk to themselves in the future. So every child don't have a parent that could say these words with them. It might not be a mom. It might not be a dad. It might be a grandma. They might not have nobody. So having something where they can encourage themselves, even if their parents miss the mark, it's, that's some of the best things we can give our kids, to give them that extra boost of confidence. So I was like, yeah, let me do that. So many books on the market that have, that explains to our children, like what's wrong with them. Like, okay, this is anxiety, or this is ADHD, or this is depression. But there's not many mindful books on the market that help to encourage our children. Like, okay, yeah, you have this, but you're still enough. You're still great, and they need to hear that. Mm-hmm. And as parents, you missed the mark. I missed the mark this morning. My daughter got on my nerve. I wanted to be like, get the fuck out of my house. But I didn't. I just didn't say nothing, because in that moment, I didn't have any words, and I have them encourage themselves with affirmations so that even if I missed the mark when she left the house, she have enough confidence to say, you know what, mommy was pissed off this morning. She forgot to say, have a great day, but I'm still enough, something like that. You don't want our kids growing up broken.
Okay. All right. So you would say, is this something that should be given to children for them to digest and read on their own, or should the parents be going along with it with them, or is it just like whatever?
Either or. It could be both. Like, it's affirmations in this book that I absolutely love, that I tell myself every morning. And I'm a big 40-year-old, it's something quick, something easy. One of my favorites is I am audacious. And everybody's like, oh my God, the new thing now is, oh, the audacity of this person. But I'm audacious. I have the audacity to believe that I can make my dreams come true. I have the audacity to make my dreams come true. Things like that. Sometimes we have to change those words into a positive. So parents can do it with the kids. And you might actually grab something that you can use for yourself for the day. Like something pop up, you like, you know what? I'm a star. I read that with my kids this morning. I'm a star. They a star. I'm a star too, or you can read it to babies, they're learning language. So we want them to start growing up saying to themselves, I'm a star. I'm enough. I'm audacious. I'm beautiful. I'm kind. I'm magical,
Okay. So let's talk about the process.
No.
Let's just get, if you can, give us an idea of from I guess from the idea of I'm gonna do the Mommy and Me book to release date, how long of a period of time would you say that was?
About a year for me. Children books are hard. They are hard. They are
What
hard.
what was the hardest part for you?
Formatting it. Formatting it was the absolute hardest thing to do. It was horrible. It was rejected about 20 times before it actually was approved for print. And I was like, what are we doing? I'm doing everything you want me to do, and it's still wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the writing process, it wasn't hard at all. I would, whatever came to my mind as the inspiration that day, I created some notes and just started dropping them in there. And if it was something like that had crazy vocabulary for that day, I would try to make it simple so that, it'd be digestible for children. So about a year, but the hardest part was formatting. Children books are hard. My husband did a short story book. I formatted that book. I had that book edited and formatted and ready to go in a matter of weeks. This book, not so much.
So knowing the process there, and I know you said you had to simplify some things. Were there any affirmations that you completely cut and it was just like, you know what, this is
Oh
not
yeah, it was tons of them make the mark. I started with like 400 affirmations. Yeah, and it's like
and you narrowed it down to how many?
60 or 70.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of them did not make the cut. Because no matter how much I tried to make it cohesive, like even though it's a short read, I wanted to be a little bit more cohesive. Some of those affirmations definitely did not fit in. So I do have a ton more. I don't know if it'll be a
So
book
we're
or
expecting a part two?
I don't know if it'll be a book, or if it's gonna be flashcards, like little box of cards. And some of those affirmations is a little bit more sassy. I should say, not vulgar, but just a little sassy. So it might be for maybe an older audience, not an adult audience, but not a child, like a small child audience either. So I'm thinking flashcards, but there will be another book, even though I hated formatting this one.
Okay. The book release, do you remember the exact release date?
A release date was 2/26/24.
Was that a special day? You seem to remember it like
I remember it like the back of my hand. That was the day I lost my mother.
okay. So there was a significance to it.
It was a very
That's
much
what I was getting to.
for it. I lost my mom February 26th of 17. Every day, every time that day came up, every year, I couldn't get out of bed. And I said, you know what? We're going to do something different this year. We're going to release the book on that day. So I forced myself to get out of bed. I forced myself to communicate with people, kind of more of me pushing myself out, but also as a tribute to her. She was a early childhood education teacher for over 20 years. So I'm like, what more of a tribute can I give my mom than to produce a children book on that day? I'm a big believer on we set the tone on how we decide to live our lives. And this year, I decided that I was pushing myself out of all my comfort zones. And I knew that I did not want to memorialize her on the date of her death. So now that date will never be for me the date of her death. I won't be reminded of the man on which I lost her. It'll be more so like, oh, I released my first book that day. Start changing the narrative of that day.
Right. Right. That's good. That's good. Actually amazing. So taking you to that day, just remember
Okay.
that day when it released. What was the feeling? What were you nervous? Were you excited? Did you think you were crazy? What was the feeling when you
All of it.
finally went through and said it's live, book is
All of
there?
it. All of it. Well, it was a schedule release. So all of it was it was a lot that day. This book, so I wrote this book while I work a 9 to 5. And it's more than a 9 to 5 because they have us on mandatory overtime. So I was working like 13 hours a day. Even on that day, it was a 13-hour day. And I remember my husband saying, you got to do a video telling people that the book released because we put something up saying, hey, it's coming soon. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I just want to lay down. I don't want to. So we got the video done and I posted the video and nothing happened. Like nobody liked, nobody commented, and hours went by. And I was like, girl, you lost your mind. And I just put my phone down and worked. And then after work, it's about 7:30. I got off work. I checked my social media and it was crazy insane. Reposts, comments, people putting up that they ordered the book. And I was like, oh my God, like, is this really happening? Like, is people really ordering a book that I put out? Like, it was so insane. Like, my DMs was going crazy. Everybody's like, oh my God, I need to get a signed copy. How do I get a signed copy? When are you going to be in the city so you can sign my book? I ordered, like, I had people who didn't even have kids telling me, hey, I ordered online, but I still want a signed copy. I'm going to order a second book. And I'm like, almost having a panic attack because I'm like, oh my God, is this really true? Is this really happening? Because, you support people so much. Like, you support, you share, you order things from people. You do interviews with people, you do, different things with people. And you feel like whenever you, like me and my husband, we have a clothing line. Whenever I will put anything up, I never got any feedback about anything I shared about our clothing line, anything like that. Like, I was like, oh, my people's is crazy. They don't support me. And then that happened. And I was like, oh, okay. It's a different kind of support.
Right.
Like even over the weekend, I had somebody send out the original reel that went up on the 26th. He sent it to like 30 people. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, because people just need to buy the book. And it's just like, it's still overwhelming. It's like, oh my goodness, it's really happened. So I thought I was crazy. I was anxious. I was scared. It was everything. And then it just happened and it was overwhelming.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So what are you like over not even a month in yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's
Not even a month in. And people are still sending me screenshots saying, hey, I ordered my book today. Or, oh, I got my book today. All the author copies that I ordered for signed copies are gone. So it's like, how did this happen? It feels crazy. I know you probably understand it better than
yeah,
any.
that's why I know what to ask. I just wanted to know
You
how the
understand it.
ride was for you,
A
how
roller
did the high
coaster.
go? How did the high go for you? It's like you go, you think you're crazy, you're like, I don't
Mhm.
know what it is. Am I fooling myself? And then you see stuff and you're like, really?
Definitely.
So
I definitely felt like that. And I felt
and
like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm big on what everybody knows me. I don't, well, if you know me, I don't hold no punches when it comes to my religion. I am deep in religion. I love God. So I'm always on a path like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And when you at first don't see nobody saying nothing, you like, I really lost my mind. I missed the mark. Maybe I did not hear God say this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then like I'm going to a school to read with third graders. I have somebody up north trying to get it as the book of the month for their school. And it's like, I never thought about any of this ever happening.
right. So you just put it out there and say, I'm gonna see what's gonna happen.
gonna be what it's gonna be. It's
So
gonna be what it's gonna be.
now, now, this is usually the progression of things. So it's not even been a month yet, but I'm sure a lot of people, I've seen people posting this. People already went through the book, went through the
Mhm.
book already. Yeah, I'm guessing you wanted them to try to consume it in bits, but some people went through the book already. What is going to happen, and what message do you want to put out to the people who see this? Because I know some of those people are going to be the people who are going to say, "When's the next book? When's part two?" So, what?
First of all, let's understand that this book took a year. This little tiny book took a year to get together. So be patient. The next one probably won't be a book. It might be flashcards. It might be a book. I've already started writing 2 more books. Um, one is like a hood novel, something totally different from me. Um, and one is another children's book. So I don't know when the next book is gonna come, and I don't know in which order they're gonna come. If it's gonna be a book, if it's gonna be flashcards, it's gonna be a hood novel, gonna be a children's book. I guess whenever something is complete, that'll be what's next, I guess.
Oh, but people, even when they do hear it out your own mouth, they still gonna ask you. They
I'm
still gonna
prepared
hit you
for
up.
it.
They still gonna want to know. So that's
Prepared for
just
I've actually already had somebody say, "Oh, so what's next?" And I'm like, "Next, I'm 3 days in."
like next. This took a year. Let me breathe. This took a year, man. Like, please allow me
Yeah,
some peace.
definitely. I remember the book so the book has dinosaurs. The narration of the book is dinosaurs. And this book went from elephants to safari animals. So one day my youngest baby was like, I like this dinosaur. She was watching something and I was like, dinosaurs. So hey, listen, y'all, my brain, I can't focus that long. Y'all know it's gonna go left, it's gonna go right, and then maybe something beautiful will
So
come out of it.
so the real test is, how did your kids receive it?
They love it. They love it. I remember when I opened the box when my author copies came in and baby girl was standing there because she's like, "What's in the box?" She's so nosy. She was like, "What's in the box?" And I was like, "It's mama's book." And she was like, "It's so beautiful." And I was like, "Oh, it makes you cry." Actually, I'll be airing a reel probably tomorrow of a little mini commercial. It was a promo reel that we did for a school up north that wants to make it their book of the month for their school, and the girls are actually reading it. And it's nothing new for them. I try to implement this with my girls. I've tried from young to implement it with them, like calling them things and letting them tell themselves that I am this, I am that, I am this, because so much of the world tells our kids what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important for us to make sure our kids tell themselves who and what they are, as opposed to letting the world change them to who they want them to be. So I'm very mindful to make sure I'm telling my kids, like, you're beautiful, you're enough, so that they have those words to say to themselves. So I don't think it's nothing new for them, but the idea of them flipping through it and actually reading it, as a mom, it was just like, it just felt good. It just felt good.
So, what book in your life, whether it could be from childhood, later, now, what book in your life had a major impact on
You
you?
know one. You know one because you helped my husband track me down a copy.
First edition, second edition.
Golden edition. The Color Purple had a really, really hard impact on my life, in a very positive way, even though it's a very vulgar book. Um,
Hmm.
that book, it actually helped me build my relationship with God. Like just reading that book and seeing how passionate she was. Um, I felt like it feels like when you're younger and you read it, for me, it felt like I was kind of invading her privacy, like I was reading her diary type situation. And it hit me so hard because I'm like, okay, she's young and she's sharing everything with God. Like she takes everything to him, regardless if it's bad, if it's good. So that book really, really impacted my life. But another book that impacted my life, I was introduced to in 6th grade. I Know Why the Cage Birds Sing by Maya Angelou, one of my absolute favorite books.
Okay.
So the book, again, is another vulgar book, but for me, it
6th
gave.
grade. How did you get that book? You got that book through the school?
Yeah, well, I was in accelerated
I was
classes.
about to say I must have been slow because I didn't get that book until high school.
I was in accelerated classes. I had
I'm
a
probably in 10th grade by the time.
no, I had a black English lit teacher in 6th grade, and we read Alice Walker, we read Maya Angelou, we read The Miseducation of the Negro in
They
6th
had
grade.
y'all on the early education, huh?
She was on some like I was to the people. And she worked in the hood. She worked with accelerated children in the hood. So I guess that was her way of helping us feel empowered. And that's maybe why I want to always empower people and empower children, because at a young age, someone helped empower me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I Know Why the Cage Birds Sing, Maya Angelou. I love that book. I love that book. Definitely have the first original copy, cover copy. It's just, it's a coming of age story that a lot of people don't understand what it is, but it also gave me hope. Through some of the things she went through in her childhood, I also went through in my childhood, and it told me that I can overcome all of that. That's not who I am. Again, not allowing the world to tell me who I am, but knowing who I am from the inside. So I love that book.
Would you ever want to take on something like that, like large? I know you say you got a hood book coming up, but would you ever want to take on a large coming of age, full size novel? That's something you think you would ever want to do?
I do. I do. I do. I remember I read this book. It was about somewhere between 6th and 7th grade, called Flogger by Omar Tyree. Great coming of age book.
Like, oh no.
Oh, so I'm gonna tell you about the old book. It was
Oh
called Girl.
man.
You ever read that book?
I hadn't read it myself, but every female around me has read that book. So
Yes, it's an amazing coming of age story. It was a more toned down version of The Coldest Winter Ever to me, because The Coldest Winter Ever is another coming of age story. But Omar Tyree like tells about like basically what girls are gonna go through coming of age, and all the drama and the guys and the jealous friends and all of this and all of that. And I really feel like if we start letting our children read those books or books like that again, we would have a lot less social anxiety. We would have a lot less anxiety, period, amongst our children, because they would kind of know what's coming. And people are like, oh no, they're too young for that. But like, no, these things are coming and they're gonna hit them hard. And we're not preparing them for the world. We want our children to be book smart, but nobody wants to help our children build emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence runs the world.
yeah, that's true.
If you're not emotionally intelligent, someone will control you. It's easy.
Yep.
It's easy. But yes, definitely I want to do a coming of age story, but if this took me a year, I'm so scared how long.
It's like, think about this. A lot more words, a lot more pages, a lot
And you
less
know what? The
pictures.
words in the pages they don't intimidate me. That's not what intimidates me. What intimidates me is formatting. And I think this children books intimidate me.
Yeah, but formatting with when you have to deal with those types of things is way harder than just putting text on a page when you know the size of the page.
It's black, it's white, it ain't got no pictures in it. You ain't worried
No
about it.
pictures, you don't have to worry about that. Everything lines up. Once you got it, you got it. There you
Get a
go.
cover done, boom, we finished.
That's
But
it.
these little books here,
Let's see the book again before we go. Shout it out. Tell everybody where they can get it.
Words are magical, and so are you. It's available on Amazon. All you gotta do is type it in. You type my name, Telita
We'll
Mokeya.
put the
It'll
link
come
in
right
there
up
too.
on Amazon, huh?
I said we're gonna put the link in there too, but go ahead.
So link will be down in the description box. But it's definitely available on Amazon. Anybody who's watching it who has a copy of the book, do me a favor. Go to Amazon, drop a review. I need them stars to go up, 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 so we can go ahead and get the book in Barnes and Nobles, libraries, Books A Million, things like that. So let's go ahead and get those reviews up, get the stars up. And thank you for anybody who's also already bought the book or anybody who's going to buy the book.
And keep sending those dope pictures on social media, posting
Definitely.
them wherever
And
you can post them.
even if you're just sending me the video of your kid reading it, I absolutely love it. Like I've had people say, "Oh, I don't want you to post my kid, but here's the video of them reading it." I love that. I love that because I want to see the babies getting a affirmation on. You know how they be showing the videos when they be like, "On my mama, on my hood." Like I want to see the kids out there like, you know what? Twinkle, twinkle, I'm a star.
I'm gonna send them in, send in everything. That's what I like to hear. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you. I am
Thank you.
trying not to let my shows go on too super long anymore because I think people don't enjoy hearing me talk. But luckily, you were able to talk. So I'm trying to keep them down to 30 minutes.
All right.
I'm not very successful at it, but hey, it is what it is.
30 minutes is hard. Trust me, I know from the podcast. Check me
Yeah.
out on the Girls Locker Room podcast on YouTube as well.
Yeah, shout it out. Shout it out. Y'all got an Instagram too.
Instagram.
Get the
At the
Instagram, Girls Locker Room.
The podcast. Yep.
All right.
Out over there. We over there. We ain't on TikTok yet, but TikTok intimidates me.
TikTok might not be here much longer. It's another story for another day.
That's a story for a rant.
Yeah, get books for your kids because TikTok might not be around to watch your kids for you. So
Get a book so they can encourage themselves.
yeah, get a book. Get a book. All right, thank you. This has been the Wrong Agenda podcast. Words are magical, and
so are you.